Okay, welcome everybody to today's ILTA webinar. It's collaboration with Office 365 groups. I'm Nicole and I'll be serving as your moderator today. Our speakers today are Ted with Acrowire and Matilli with Microsoft, and I want to thank Acrowire for sponsoring today's webinar. Today's presentation will run about 45 to 60 minutes, and we ask you to submit all your questions into the Q&A box, and if they're not answered during the presentation, we will be addressing them at the end. Before we do start, please know that we're recording today's webinar and we'll post a link to our website under recording shortly after today's presentation. At the end of the presentation, we ask that you take a few moments to complete the evaluation poll that we will be providing on the screen as well. And I'll now turn the webinar over to Ted.
Thanks, Nicole. First of all, thanks everybody for joining us today. We're going to talk about Office 365 groups, and we've got Matilli from Microsoft, who is head of the product team for Office 365 groups, so we should be able to get some great insight. Many of you know Acrowire and me on the phone, as we do a lot of thought leadership activities and webinars with ILTA. For those of you that don't know us, we have four kind of main practice areas: intranet, extranet, which is a lot of SharePoint work, application development, managed services, and envisioning. We have a tight focus on legal, and as I mentioned, we do a lot of work with ILTA. Matilli, if you want to go to the next slide, these are a few of the clients that we do business with. I speak at SharePoint Symposium, ILTACon. We do a number of road shows, write articles, and it's led to a very impressive legal resume. So these are a few of the folks we do business with. We'd certainly love to chat with you if you have some SharePoint or application development needs. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Matilli to jump into the content.
All right. Thank you, Ted. Good morning, everyone. My name is Matilli. I'm a program manager lead with the Office 365 groups team. I've been on the product for the past 4 years since we started building it, and I'm very excited today to talk about it with all of you. We'll be covering the presentation in 3 parts, going a little bit into the overview, talking about the strategy for collaboration of Office 365 groups, how we see that fitting into our all-up system, and I'll also be doing a lot of end-user demos, showing you what the product is looking like today. We have about 10 million users who are using the product, and it's growing day by day. And then we'll switch into administration. There are 2 big questions that I want to address today as part of the administration. First one is, how do you manage groups in your organization? And then the second one is, how do you govern groups, the governance and the compliance around groups, so that you can safely use them in your organization, really making the IT the hero. And then we'll leave you with some next steps on how you can get started. If you've not been using groups, we'll give you some really great information on how to get started and how to engage with our tech community and us as well. All right, so jumping into the overview, I want to take a step back and really talk about where collaboration is headed and what are the kind of problems that we saw as we look at new gen collaboration happening in organizations. No matter how you slice or dice the data, the reality is that all of us are working in 2x, twice the number of teams than we worked in 5 years ago. And not only that, each of us work on very, very diverse set of projects, and not only with people internal to organization, but external to organization. And that really collaboration needs to happen in a seamless way, bringing in all the people that we need on a project to work together. The second piece that we see as a component into the landscape is how we are also geographically distributed. Teams are no longer working in a single office, we're distributed different time zones, and that's just the way work gets done today. And then the third piece that we see in the vector of collaboration landscape is the multi-generational task force. We're seeing the millennials come into our organization. They are bringing in tools that they like to use. And we have tools that we have for years within our organization. And so really, as we look towards the next 20 years, like what should collaboration, how do we kind of tackle all of these components, and what should be our collaboration solutions as we go into the future? So looking at that, also there are some other challenges that we see today. We also know that different groups have different needs. So let's take an example of there is a lot of ongoing collaboration happening in Skype. Used to be prevalent with chats. Now there's HipChat, there's Slack. There's this real-time collaboration happening in developers are picking it up in your organization where where they communicate with their teams in real time. There's mail and calendar has always been there. Content sharing with document collaboration, and enterprise social has started coming up in the past couple of years as when you want to connect to your network, or you want to find an expert in your organization, or discover a piece of information. That kind of open connected network really helps. But what are some of the challenges let's talk about two aspects. One is the end user challenges, and one is the IT challenges. When you look at end users, really what we looked at was let's take a simple example of sharing a file. If we just start looking at, if I want to share a file today with my team, I compose the file in my favorite authoring app. I open probably email. I mail my distribution list, perhaps. I upload the file to SharePoint. New member comes in. I need to kind of go back to my Outlook, search for the file, share it with that person. Now, factor that with bringing somebody who's external to your organization and sharing that and working with them on the project. Just a lot of context switching and a lot of friction in enabling this very, very simple scenario. It might seemingly seem simple, but today we spend a lot of time. And that's kind of one of the big aspects that we saw. Even though we had all these tools available, we have all of these tools and they work great within themselves. As we start to integrate and share files or schedule a meeting with our team, those silos and that friction really reduces the productivity of the end user, wasting time and taking away your attention from the task that you need to do or the goals you need to accomplish with your team. So that was top of mind for us. And the second piece was shadow IT. And we talk about this because IT had to manage all of these different tools. And that's the reality today. If you had to govern these tools or have policies around these tools, that creates a shadow IT scenario where there's a lot of overhead in managing and governing these objects. So when we looked at sort of what was our collaboration strategy for Office 365, we really wanted to make sure that we do things right from an identity, membership, and infrastructure standpoint. And then how we build these integrated experiences to reduce the friction and those silos is really sort of what we went for. So as we look at Office 365 groups, it's really designed for the unique work style of every group. And again, let me take some few examples and talk about it. When we look at today our communities, there is a need for different kinds of group work differently. So let's take our developer community who is actually writing code. Our engineering teams, they're working, our developers who are sitting at the desks for most of the day, they're checking in code, doing that. For them, that real-time collaboration with their colleagues, it's a small team where the team definition is defined. It's a set of 20, 25 developers who are working. And for them, having the chat window open along with their best coding environment, that provides them the productivity that they need. Coming to somebody like a C-level exec, or even take me as a program manager today, I am most of the time I'm not at my desk. I'm working with teams in India as well as in Norway. I'm traveling a lot. For me, email continues to be my the best tool that I can use to keep in touch with my teams. Time and again, I might jump in and see what's happening in my developer channel, but I really, for me, the email continues to be the right fit or the right tool. And when I look at email, we really will look at how we are innovating email with Office 365 groups. Similarly, when we look at our enterprise social offering, that connected network, if Satya has to conduct a CEO group with Microsoft within our organization, he wants to reach and get feedback from everyone. Or if I have to find a tech in my tech community for Office 365 groups, if I have to find an expert, because we work with so many people, Yammer really provides me that outreach and that connected network scenario. So when we looked at Office 365 groups, the biggest thing for us was to build it as a single identity and membership service. And let me pause here and tell you what that means. When you create a group with using the Office 365 service, you create a single identity of the group that is stored in the Azure Active Directory. All of the membership associated with the group, all of the members that were created as part of the group, the membership information is also stored in Azure Active Directory. And it's synced down to all of these, the connected experiences. And what this means is, like, when I create a group in Outlook, I create the identity in Azure, and then all the resources of that group are provisioned. So a document library, as we'll see, a calendar, a SharePoint site, a Teams workspace, all of these resources are connected. And because it is a single identity and membership service, all of them understand the group in a very similar way. Now, what this allows us to do is, I don't have to context switch now. Coming to the integrated experiences, I can start with Outlook. If I'm a user, if I'm creating a group with my team, I'm in Outlook, and I'll show you that with a demo. I can seamlessly not only have conversations and all of the archive and history, so that any new team member who comes in gets access to it. I don't have to give him all the permissions again to that, because just adding him as a member, he's part of the membership, and all of the workloads understand that, so that he gets seamless permissioning, and he can start collaborating with the group with very little friction. And then, because it is a single identity and membership service, it really helps us to make the IT the hero and allow them to only govern that one object and not those individual collaboration tools that are associated. So when we talk about, we'll see a lot about the management and the governance. You can do that at the group object level, which applies to all of these resources. So that reduces the overhead for IT as they kind of manage and govern and have policies around Office 365 groups. So this is kind of bringing home the point of what was collaboration in the past, and as we look at Office 365 groups, what are some of the changes that we look at making in the future? Really the key points that I'll bring away is the biggest pain point was when you created a DL, and take an example of a DL. When you created a DL, all of that information was in your inbox, but now it's in a shared inbox. All of the members have access to it. Any new member coming to it has full history and access. You don't have to manage the permissions. That's taken care of for you. So a lot of this overhead around creating self-service, starting a project, becomes really lightweight and easy, and really helping you accomplish your goals that you want to do with your project. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, all right. So to summarize, when you create a group with Office 365, what you're creating is a new collaboration space. The identity of the group is created in Azure Active Directory. All of the core resources of the group, the resource URLs where your SharePoint site of this group is located or your shared mailbox, those are all stored with the group object. And then the group experiences can be surfaced from the collaboration experience of your choice, if from Outlook or from Teams or Yammer. And we'll show you that with the demo. All right, so I'm going to switch now to show you a little bit of a demo from the end user perspective. All right, so what you see here is my 2016 version of the Outlook desktop. And the first point that I want to bring out is, if you see here on my left-hand side, there is my inbox, and these are all the groups that I have favorited. So I have a lot of groups that I'm part of, and here are a few groups that I'm favorited. Our key mission with introducing groups in Outlook was to reduce the learning curve that you had with working. It's email. We wanted to make sure that as we innovate email, we bring a lot of the goodness that Office 365 Groups membership service can bring to email and innovate email. But at the same time, we wanted to make sure the learning curve is very little. So as you can see here, I can go very quickly. I can go and self-service and create a new project. So I can start any new project with my group quickly. Here I can say, let me start project Star Trek. I can go and create a group. Okay, and it tells me whether the group is available or not. I can set the privacy. It can be a public group, which is public to my organization, which means all the users in my organization can have access to the group. And private means it's restricted to the members. I can also set, we'll talk a little bit about it, I can also set the classification. This is a feature that we released for IT admins, whereby they can set labels, classification labels for groups based on your governance policy. And then end users can select those classification labels that can apply to those groups. So here I can create a group. For example, I created the Project Halo group, and this is the group that I'm working on with my colleagues. The single most important piece that I want to kind of bring home here is that Project Halo, as created, as you can see here, these are all the conversations I'm having with my team. This is a shared space. All of these members who are part of this group have access to this group and all the conversations within it. And group really brings together all the resources that you need to work on your project in a single place. So as you can see here, this is my calendar for my team. This is my shared calendar. This is my files repository, and this is my notebook. These are, and users can get access to it right away. There's another piece that there's a lot of information overload with email. And one of the pieces that we've designed groups to be is what we call as a principle of flexible engagement. You can choose how you want to engage with the group. As a group owner, you can say, in addition to having all the groups always come back, the shared space will always have access to the full history of the group, what's going on. But as an owner or as a member, you can choose to say, I want to be on top of this group, and I want to subscribe to all the conversations that will get sent into my inbox. So in addition to that, you can always be on top. If you use your inbox a lot more, which we all do as a one piece to get all your work done, you can keep on top of your groups. But in my case, this is what I really like. These are the 5 groups that I like to be on top of, and I can do that just by getting the notifications side by side with my inbox. So really, it's made me more productive because I don't have to go to my inbox to check all my projects and what's going on. I can very quickly go to my team space, and I can start working with my group over there. The second piece that I wanted to call out was groups are available across all it's cross-platform. That's our vision with our Outlook groups within Outlook. So we have groups available right now on Office Desktop, on OVA, like the web access, as well as we are bringing it to Mac Outlook very soon. So you will be able to use it on the choice of your client. So I'm going to kind of move to show you what the experience is on Outlook Web Access. So this is my Project Halo group, and I'm going to kind of go back and show you the experience on the Outlook Web Access. And I want to talk about the piece that we've really made easy is file collaboration. So if I see here, this is my same group, Project Halo, and all of my conversations are here. I can quickly create a new conversation. I can see what's going on. It's very simple. One of the key features that we also have, let's say if I want to quickly share a message with my team, but I want to bring in my manager into this conversation. I can do so by bringing attention to him by saying, hey, Amit, can you check with legal on the branding for the project? And what this does is this brings this message, in addition to sending it to the group, it also mentions Amit and puts it in his inbox so that Amit can easily get back to that conversation and follow up for me with legal. This is how we are even innovating email, making sure that as you have a lot of information, but you can bring in the right people quickly into a conversation and get your project started or your conversation started. So next I want to show you files. With files, the biggest pain point that Office 365 Groups takes away is that now you don't have to think about where your files are. Every file that is shared with the group, no matter whether it's a local attachment, it's a cloudy attachment, or it's a picture or video, all of the documents that you've shared with the group are available in the file space for that project. This really takes away any sort of overload around where should I find the file. And what's even great is that you can very quickly go and bring in a new member on the team. So I can go here. I can add, let's say I add Alex here again. And I can bring Amit into the group easily. And he, as a new member, he would get a welcome email. The group would show up for him, and he can get access to all the files in a simple way, without having to search for the files of the group or getting caught up on what this project is about. So this is a huge benefit from what we had with our previous collaboration solutions. I want to talk a little bit about the calendaring aspect of a group. This is my shared calendar for Project Halo, where, and with calendaring, there are two aspects. One is regular meetings. You can schedule regular meetings with a group just like you do with a set of people. So I can go and create a new meeting invite. I can add the group to it. I can see the free busy of the members, and I can get it going. But in addition to that, one of the aspects that we also allow, and we know that people are using group calendaring for setting events on a group, notifications that they don't necessarily want to send to the inbox of the inbox, but just let the team know, such as could be your OOF message. That's a very popular scenario we see used with group calendaring, where you can just set an OOF message with the group, and you can just say, I don't want to notify my team about it. I don't want to notify all the members in the inbox. I just want to do that using the group calendar. So you can do that very easily. Next, I want to show you the notebook for the group. This is the SharePoint. This is as part of the group. We create a document library, and now we also expose the team site collection that's associated with the document library. And I'll show you that in the moment. So you can really power up your group to include all the rich functionality about SharePoint. So if you want to create a team space and all of the right lists and all of the goodness that comes with sites, you can do that with a connected team site collection that comes with a group. So here I have my SharePoint, my meeting notes. Very easy for me to keep up all the meeting notes associated with the group in one place. And I can bring this, members of the group can easily go and see what's happening there and can share the notes easily. You can bring this up from Skype. Groups are available through, if I go to my Skype application, let me show you that. So here I can go to Skype and I can search for Project Halo. And again, coming back to the point of it's a single identity and membership service. The group is stored in Azure. So all of the applications of Office 365 understand the same group. So I can easily bring up this group. I can start, I am with the team members. I can start a Skype meeting. I can bring up my shared resources while I'm having the meeting with my group. Very, very integrated and frictionless. Next, I want to talk about Planner. This is tasks. We know that a lot of lightweight management of projects need lightweight management with tasks, and Planner allows us to do that as it gets connected to an Office 365 group. So when I create a group, a plan for a group is created. A project, a group has a plan. A plan, when created from Planner, is a group. So that's a very simple way of looking at it. Over here, I can very quickly, for Project Halo, I can have a task board, which allows me to assign tasks to my team members. When I assign tasks to my team members, they get notified in the group space, the group conversation space. They can get notified to say, okay, this task has been assigned to you. It's very easy for me to create different checklists and different plans, add a new plan, add a new task, and assign the folks and get started on it. Also, like I showed you, it creates these charts out of the box so that if you want to do lightweight project management, send up what your team is working on, you can all do that very, very easily with within the same collaboration space. Next, I want to show you this site collection that is created with the group. So a team, again, a group when created creates a team site. A team site when created from SharePoint creates a group. They're connected. You should think of it as the same thing. And this is my Project Halo team site. As you can see, I can not only have all the documents in my notebook, but I can also have all of the right lists, the web parts, whatever the way I want to customize my team site, all in one place again, and to get my team. So I really don't have to go away from Project Halo. I can get all of that stuff done there. The next feature that I want to show is called as connectors. And here, what we know is that even though we are all working in with services that are connected within Office 365, each of us also work with services that are third-party services that are not connected to Office 365. And we want to make sure that, again, coming back to the pain point of, I don't have to go, let's say, in my case, I have my marketing team. I'm going to go back to my mail and show you my marketing team. My marketing team has a lot of my product launch team. this is my marketing campaigns team that we are using for Project Halo. And as you can see here, Mandy, who is our project, who is our marketing rep, she is external to my org. So I've added her as a guest into the group. And I'll show you how to do that, because that's pretty powerful to bring anybody outside your organization, breaking the barriers of collaboration, but easily and sharing with them. So as you look at this group, I can easily bring in Mandy not only into the group, but we can also connect the services that Mandy uses. So she is using Twitter to get our word out there for Project Halo. And I can connect Twitter and a specific hashtag, which is like Project Halo, which we are using, and get all the communications from that Twitter feed into the group. So that rest of my team members who are working on the project but still want to be updated about what's going on in the field, they can do so by staying right within the project space without having to context switch or go to Twitter to do that. And then talking about how I can bring Mandy as a member into the project group, as you can see, it's as simple as adding a new member to a group. So I can easily go here. I can say, I can add Mandy's email address. Or in this case, I can, let's say, I can show you in my case. If I add myself as a guest who is external to the organization, it shows me that I'm adding a guest to the system, and it shows me that there are external. For the rest of the group, it also shows that there's an external member who's part of the group. And next time you go to communicate with this group, you know that there are some external people who are outside your organization. So it gives you the right tooltips, information. It's connected with our information system and security and policy system, so that it can give you the right tooltips within the group to let you know that you're communicating with external users. But Mandy, as she comes into the system, really the experience for her is very simple. She can just gonna go here. She can go here to her Gmail account. Just want to show you that. Let's switch to Mandy's Gmail account. So here Mandy was added as a guest, and she, like the rest of the group members, got what we call as a welcome email. So Mandy not only knows who are members of the group, who's invited her, but she starts receiving all the conversations from that group in the email client of her choice. And as well as she can have access to the files that Alex had access to. So really sort of enabling the frictionless collaboration. You can start to communicate on a document together with any user and make them a member of your group. The last thing that I want to show you is search. And it is true that once you're part of a lot of groups, you will want to search for information and retrieve it. And what we support is access to cross-group join search. So across your list of all your groups, you can search for any content. So you can go here, and let's say if I search for Project Halo, I want to look for Project Halo. I'm going in my inbox. And it is typically true that we all start working in my inbox most of the time. And I can do that, and I can say search in groups. And what this does is it searches for the content across all my groups. So as you can see here, not only did it search within Project Halo, but across the rest of the groups like gaming, they're talking about Halo as well over there. So I can not only search within my group, but across all my connected groups. And that's pretty powerful. What is one of the powers of search is that because now groups can also be public, these can be groups that you're not a member of, but we can get you the information from what the rest of your organization might be talking about. That you can get access to all the search results from public groups as well. And so really kind of helping you discover, not only get to what you wanted, but discover related and relevant content related to what you were searching for. So with that, I want to kind of move back to talking about administration. So here's a quick overview of what you have with groups and Outlook innovations that are upcoming in our roadmap. We showed you a lot of these experiences. We have groups also available on all mobile apps, iOS, Android, as well as Windows. We also released a Outlook Groups app on iPad. And that's something that is a great experience that you should try on, and we've really built and catered the solution for mobile in a way that you can, it's mobile first. You can keep up to notifications for your groups. And I always like to talk about it. Think about, did you ever have your DLs, a group for your DLs, but now really you have that one for your groups. And you can keep up on top of your projects throughout the day very, very easily in a very, very seamless way. And we also give all the files related to that project on your mobile phone. So this is what I do most of the time. I take my phone and I have all my groups and all my right documents. I can project right from my phone. I don't need my my laptop for most of my presentations. So that's really, really powerful. And there's a ton of other innovation coming in, like Max support for groups. We're doing a lot of improvements in our user experience around calendaring, which you'll be able to see, as well as we'll talk about how do you take your, if you're an organization who's using groups and wants to now take your distribution lists to groups, we are providing a very, very simple upgrade way where we can allow you to easily upgrade all your DLs into groups as well. And so that's something that I'll touch upon. Going to administration, I want to talk about how the question that is top of mind for everyone is, how do I manage my groups at scale? Really now we're kind of switching from the end user to the IT admin, and really talking about what we are doing for the IT admin and all of the great functionality that we have. So I want to kind of step back and say we've delivered a lot of innovations for the IT admin over the past 12 months. And see, these are some of the highlights. Like, we've been working with our IT organizations as well as with our customers, and we know some of their pain points. So we have what is called as dynamic membership with groups, where you want to create an org-based group and you don't want to manage them just as you had with DLs. And you can do so that easily with and make sure that your group is always up to date, even though members are added or left. So that's something that we support with groups. Multi-domain support, if you want to have a primary domain and a secondary domain, and have a specific domain that you want to use for your communication, you can do that. We spoke about guests. We allow you to bring external users and also manage all of these. So you can, of course, you can turn off guest access if that's something that you don't want to do in organization, but you actually don't have to do that. We provide you with the granularity. You can only turn it on for the groups that you want. So you can choose the groups that should have external users, and as an admin, you can shut access to all the groups that should not. We also provide expiry on external members. That's something that we're working on, which will release shortly, is that will allow you to make sure that if a guest is on the system, has not been active, you can choose owners can renew the guest or they can get out of the system. So it's not like you can safely govern your external usage that's happening in your organization. There's data classification, and we'll talk about that. There's hybrid guidance improvements that if you're an on-prem organization, and Groups is the full functionality of the rich experience of Groups is available to the cloud users. But for all the hybrid experiences, hybrid users can get access to all of the content like they did with a distribution list in their inbox. As well, in addition, they can have access to all the files and the resources of a group. So and that how do you enable that within your hybrid guidance? We have a lot of guidance around that. Group activity reports. How do we help admins really track how groups, which groups are active within the organizations, which are not? This is top of mind because you want to have the life cycle around them and the governance piece around them. And that's something that some of the reports that we provide out of the box, there's a lot of PowerShell, and you can build a lot of reporting as well. So let's talk about what is available for the tenant admin. For the tenant admin, we provide the admin with governance from the Office 365 Admin Center, as well as from the Azure Admin Portal. And there's also PowerShell that you can use to really script and build things in addition to what we offer within our user experience. There is, in terms of directory management, one of the top concerns that we hear from organizations is with self-service, users are likely to create groups which do not match or the policy of within the organization. So as a admin, you can set the right prefix or suffix. You will be able to set the right prefix or suffix. You can do so for the Exchange from the EAC portal that applies to the Exchange half of the groups. But now we are bubbling this up so that across Office 365 groups, no matter where the group was created from, whether it was created from Microsoft Teams or Outlook groups or Yammer or SharePoint, you can apply a naming policy so that if with the prefix, suffix, so that groups created are created with that within your organization. There is also blocked words, and we provide a set of blocked words out of the box, but you can add additional block words that should be prevented as group names within your organization. There's dynamic membership, as we discussed. There's also hidden membership. We hear from a lot of our EDU customers, as an example, that there are certain school classroom projects that they don't want students to know who are members of this group. So you can set a hidden membership. You can create a group with hidden membership so that the membership is hidden from anyone who is not part of the group. There's also group create permissions. This is a scenario where we do allow IT admins to restrict group creation if you want to just a few people within your organization. So you can do so easily by creating a security group, having the right permissions only to the few users. And this will ensure that the group creation option is hidden from the rest of the members who should not have access to that. We spoke about external access and how Mandy could be added to the group easily. And as I discussed, you can easily govern these guest objects that are in your system and manage them. We have a lot of guidance. We will be sharing this deck, and there's a lot of guidance in terms of documentation on how you can do that. Next, I want to talk about how do I keep my group safe and ensure that groups are being used in the right way. So I want to talk about three aspects. One is data classification. We allow you to specify the labels that for a group, and then end users would be able to select a label when they create a group, or as an IT, you can also use those labels to do additional governance within your organization. Usage guidelines is something that if If you want end users to know what are some usage guidelines before they create or manage groups, you can add that, and you can include a link. We allow you to include your usage guidelines within the creation experience and the edit experience. And so this is something that is not that is available for every organization to do. We allow for in-place hold and e-discovery search. This is a group mailbox. As we support it for user mailboxes, the same functionality is supported. All of that goodness is supported for any group mailbox. And so you can do that. Auditing and reporting. As you can see here, you can easily see activity reports, and I'll show this in a demo shortly so that you can see how you can not only see what are the groups active in your organization, who's created them, what was the last activity date, all of that, how storage getting used, and how's the quota getting used. All of this functionality, some of this functionality provide out of the box, and you can also script and do so using PowerShell additional. With that, let me quickly move on to showing you some demos for IT admins. So as an IT admin, this is my Office Admin Center. Sorry, this is still loading up. This is my Office Admin, and as you can see here, actually, let me show you the usage activity report before I move on to showing you how you can manage your group. So here, as you can see, I can go I can see a lot of reports that we, as an admin, you have access to. We've added an Office 365 groups activity report where you can see all of the information about groups, storage activity, and export this to Excel and start to kind of monitor what is the lifestyle around the groups. I can also have access to all the groups within my organization and manage them right from the Office Admin Center. So here you can see all of the groups that are created within your tenancy. You can open a group and you can manage all the properties within your group. Let's say if users are created a group that should not be public, where they're sharing information, you as an admin can easily go and switch it to private. And you can do all of that right from the Office Admin Center. The next one that I want to show you is some of the classification and governance features that this is something that we are about to release very soon. In the next coming months. If you see here as a retention, this is the Security and Compliance Center, and for you can easily create a label and assign policy to it. So in our case, like for example, we've created a deletion policy. And now, as you could have applied that policy to any mailbox or a SharePoint site, in addition, what we will allow you to do is apply it to Office 365 groups that you create within your organization. So you can choose the groups that these policies should apply to, and you can do so very easily. We're really excited about the simplicity with which you can actually create policies and then manage those and apply it to groups. And you can do so right from the Security and Governance Compliance Center. You can also go and have audit logs as an admin and have access to really all of, like let's say if you wanted to say who is creating groups in my organization, when were those groups created, you can easily go and have all the audit logs related to that, and you can set alert policies on that as well. Yes, so there you go. You can see who has created the groups, when those were created, and you can have access to all of that logging as an admin. The next one that I do want to show you is the dynamic membership as part of the Azure portal. Back here. In the interest of time, I'll probably switch that, but you will be able to set dynamic membership rules from the Azure portal, admin portal. And then as you go into your group experience, let's say if I go into my group experience, the way it manifests for the end user is that they would be easily able to see, like say the engineering team has dynamic membership set. So from the members of the team will be able to see very easily, only admin can add members to this group or remove them. So this is the end user experience that you can manage that. So I'll go back to just to wrap up, there's some great work that we are delivering pretty soon as part of the admin capabilities, deletion and recovery, as we discussed. One of the pieces that we are about to release very soon is the ability to soft delete groups and expirational groups. So as an admin, you will be able to set an expiration policy on groups, how long after which they should expire. As an owner of the group, end user would get an email that says whether you want to extend, renew, or extend the group. And if it's not extended, then it gets soft deleted, which means that within 30 days, you can restore the full content of the group back. So we allow that now. So if accidentally users have deleted a project, now we can restore that. As an admin, you can restore that very, very easily. And that functionality will be present soon. Preservation and deletion policies that we discussed, easy labeling and policy associated and tagging those to Office 365 is something we support, and then naming policy is something that we are working on that will release as well for Office 365 groups. With that, I want to kind of talk a little bit about the next steps and wrap up. So this is extensibility. Very quickly to talk about, as we discussed, we ship about 90 connectors out of the box services, but using our platform, you can also build additional connectors connected to Office 365 groups, and we have a Microsoft Graph API that allows you to build your own applications on top of it. There is also the ability to upgrade DLs to groups in Outlook, and you can do so even from the Office Exchange Admin Center. We provide you a list of all your distribution groups and an easy way to upgrade them to a group. So you can do so right from the user experience. But there's also a lot of PowerShell scripts available to do that. With that, I want to call to action Microsoft Fast Track. We have groups now into the Fast Track experience, and as an organization, if you want to onboard onto groups, if you want to learn how to pilot groups within your organization, we provide you with all that great information within fasttrack.microsoft.com. There's also an update that we did at last Ignite. All of the links are there so that we can really help you with the onboarding and adoption assistance. And so what we looked at today was two parts. One was the experiences of Office 365 groups, and the next one was administration. There's also great documentation available at Fast Track. Do check our roadmap where we are keeping it up to date on what is the new functionality that is getting released, as well as great documentation for all of the features as at aka.ms Office 365G. With that, thank you for taking the time to come today and learn about Office 365 groups.
And Mathili, if you've got time for a couple of questions here, it looks like we have a couple queued up in the Q&A window.
Yes.
Okay. And we've got a few, and we only have a few minutes, so I think this one will be a pretty quick yes, no, but Jeff asks if the file repository can be redirected to use, another document management tool that are popular with law firms.
Not as yet, but we are looking at allowing extensibility where you would be able to plug in your own resources, just like we had Planner and Site into our extension. This is something that we're looking at. So you will be able to plug in your own applications there as well.
Okay. And someone else asks, just to confirm, we need Exchange 365 or Exchange Online for groups to be available. Is that correct?
That's correct. You need Office 365 and Exchange Online and SharePoint Online to have the full immersive experience that I showed you today. If your Exchange is on-prem or SharePoint is on-prem, you would get a experience. You could still collaborate because we know that a lot of organizations have part of their users on-prem, just like even Microsoft, and part of the users on the cloud, but you can still go and have a hybrid experience where the users who are on-prem will be able to interact with the group. They can message the group and see all of the conversations in their inbox like a DL, but not the immersive experience.
Okay, last one, since we're running out of time here. We need the ability for a person to see all of their tasks across all projects and groups. Is that possible?
So one of the things, no, not easily possible, but there is a better way to do that through Planner. As a user on Planner, what you can do is, and let me show you very quickly, you can create what is called as a Planner hub. This is your Planner hub. So you can, so the answer could be yes, depending on whether this is this is what you're looking for, which is you can easily add the projects that you as a project manager want to be on top of. So for me, it's like Project Halo, gaming community, marketing campaigns, and engineering. So I can create my own Planner hub, which allows me to quickly be on top of that. So yes, you could have a view of all the things that you need to be on top of.
Okay. And Nicole, there's a few more questions here, but I don't know if we want to go over or answer those offline.
It's okay. We can do either. I mean, obviously, we want to be respectful of everybody's time. I did I took a screenshot of those questions, so I was going to send them to her. So if she could answer them, we can actually just post the responses with the recording.
Okay.
If that works.
Works for me.
Okay, great. And then anybody that is on the desktop application of Zoom, you will notice that we do have some polling going in the evaluation. So if you could complete that before you leave us today. I just want to thank again to Maithili with the great presentation and Ted with Acrowire for sponsoring. And then to all of our members, please know that we will be posting this recording out to our website within a few days, and we will look to get those questions that weren't addressed. We'll get those answers and post that out with the recording as well. So thank you everybody for attending the webinar, to Maithili and Ted, and we look forward to seeing you guys on future events. Have a great day.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.